Hola, cage fighting connoisseurs. This is KidNativeBloodyElbow.com, joined once again by the ineffable, the ineluctable, the inedible,
Inedible. You got that right.
inedible. Eugene
Yeah.
S. Robinson, author of Fight, everything you ever want to know about getting your ass kicked, but we're afraid.
No, you keep adding the gerund, man.
Everything you ever wanted to know about
Ass kicking.
ass kicking, but we're afraid to get your ass kicked for ass.
No, but afraid you get your ass kicked. Afraid you get ass kicked for asking.
That's what I said.
No, you said getting. You put two gettings in there. You put getting and get.
I like some getting. What's wrong with that? Getting.
Well, you can add it if you like, but it's really not there.
Well, we are here for the UFC 190 Rousey versus Correia Care Don't Care preview. The infamous and patented comes with a disclaimer. Eugene, please.
First of all, massive care, and for the rest of yous who are not on the headlining card, the main card, we have to say crybabies and bedwetters. It's got nothing to do with your personal skills, talents as a fighter, a human being, but more to do with the marketing heft and interest that the UFC has placed behind you. And if you want to get off the don't care list, fight an exciting fight like Paul Felder, who moved from don't care to care, but it's got nothing to do, don't take it personally, you crybabies and bedwetters.
Excellent. Well said, well said. So, a big care for the card overall. Is that what you're saying?
Big care for the card overall.
And that's just because you're a
It really shouldn't be, because the stink of the last few weeks is still kind of, it's still in the air, you know? It's like when I went to see
Nabob. A nattering Nabob.
Man, I'm just responding to what's in the air. It's like when I went to see Mad Max for the first time and somebody had used one of those D-zone seats and vomited in the theater. I had to see the movie a second time because the first time my memories were infused with vomit.
Was this the Fury Road one or the original?
Yeah, Fury Road, yeah.
I see.
I enjoyed it both times, but my date did not enjoy the first one.
Because of the vomit smell.
She's sort of sensitive to things like that, yeah.
I said, well, who can blame her? You know, I'm not the biggest. I once vomited a whole bunch of absinthe and sushi all over a Honda Civic, and the car was never the same again.
I guess you couldn't just lean out the window like everybody else in the world.
I was driving like 60 miles an hour down the freeway. I got a line on absinthe. Bad idea. And I'm like,
yeah. Drunk driving, just publicly admitted to.
Yeah.
You were no Donald Trump, sir.
Hey, you know, I've done dumb shit. I was lucky I didn't get caught. So there you go.
See, there you go. That's what I want to see from a public figure at some point, you know.
Is what?
Just somebody, just unrepentant. That's what I want to hear.
Hey, you know, like last week, Ashley Madison. I got divorced for a reason. What can I say? But Ashley Madison didn't.
Now the truth comes out. For those of you who are waiting for the other shoe to drop, there you go.
You know, but the whole thing, I was very disappointed with your reaction, going right to the puerile Puritan take on it instead of, you know, a man of the world like yourself should understand these things. And my whole point was the hackers were on the one hand complaining about the thing's bad anonymity policies and the entire existence of the thing. So I think there's some
that irked me to no end. And the reality of it is I'm in a maybe enviable or unenviable position of there's nothing that anybody could tell you about. There's very few things that people could tell you about me that you would go, Eugene, nah. which is to a certain degree shameful, you know. I'd wish that, you know, who am I going to go to for a character witness? But
hey, you're professionally employed though, gainfully employed, a citizen. You got kids, you're paying your taxes, you got a girlfriend, an apartment.
Yeah, I need a defense attorney like you. There you go. We need a criminal.
Streets. He's contributing to society.
We don't need a criminal attorney. We need a criminal attorney.
That's right. And just think how many criminals were taken off the streets right now. 3 by my count. That could be out there using bath salts and eating people's faces. And
who's the third one?
Well, there's 3 viewers. So
oh, that's right. So there's 5 because I would include you and me on that list.
I'm retired, man. My criminal days are behind me. I hope.
You're telling me you don't have any bath salts in your house? I don't believe that.
I have some like the granny kind that you actually soak in. You know.
Yeah, try smoking that, baby.
I might have to. You know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But let's get to the card. We got 7 fights on the pay-per-view, which I'm against. But then we got 2 fights on Fight Pass, which I'm all for. First up, bantamweights Hugo Viana and Guido Canetti.
You know, look,
Guido Canetti? Come on, isn't that an intriguing name?
Yes, it is, but it's up there with Kaiser Sosa, but I don't care.
I don't care either. Although Hugo Viana kind of reminds me of something. But middleweight.
Yeah, it reminds you of Kaiser Sosa.
Hugo Viana does?
Yeah, that's just my take.
I see. All right, middleweight, Victor Miranda and Clint Hester.
Yeah. I want to say yes for Clint Hester, but I can't remember why. Where's Zane when you need him?
I know. He's, probably watching the show. Actually, he's probably just rolling out of bed this morning because it's.
Yeah, because he's a go-getter like that.
Yeah, well, he's in Seattle, so.
Yeah, on the same coast that I am, and I'm awake.
I see. What time did you get up to go to jiu-jitsu this morning?
I got up at 6 because I had car troubles again.
With the Chevy?
The same time of day it doesn't want to start, man. It's kind of maddening.
Since the humidity?
I don't know. Yeah, it's got to be something to do with the condensation. I took the air cleaner off and was fucking with the the throttle and the butterfly valve and prime it and flood it, and it was like I'm in a residential neighborhood last night around 10 o'clock. And I was like, I can't be that guy. You can't be the black guy.
Light, Eugene.
You can't be the black guy in a residential neighborhood with the hood open, 10 o'clock at night. You just can't, and then you pull off and you squeal the tires. I can't be that guy. So
yeah, you'll get shot in this country, but what do you get?
Well, in Texas.
Hey.
Also known as Planet of the Apes.
A lot. What is that? Some kind of racist remark? Come on.
Are you feeling ape-like today?
I'm always simian, but what can I say?
Right,
actually, I rode my bike to work for the first time in 2 years yesterday, and I am sore.
What?
I did. I rode my bike 6 mile round trip, and it was twice.
Right.
No, 6 mile round trip. Yeah, that's right. It was painful. It was hurt.
Okay, that's sad. That's sad.
Well, that's what it is. Anyway, Victor Miranda and Clint Hester. Victor Miranda, perhaps related to Carmen Miranda, legendary Brazilian performer.
Nah, I'm not. I can't even.
Yeah. Okay. So we don't care.
Clint Hester. Maybe he's related to Todd Hester, a former editor-in-chief of Grappling Magazine, and then Throwdown Magazine, and then Gladiator Magazine.
Do they owe you money?
No, Todd Hester. Todd Hester was the early stage Kid Nate, and our relationship ended. He said at one point, he said, "Hey, do you remember when our relationship ended?" And I said, "Funny, I don't remember that." And he goes, "You told me I was the worst editor in the universe." I said, "Oh, really?"
He took that personally, huh?
I said, I don't think I use those exact words. He goes, no, you very clearly use those exact words. I was like, man, I don't know. I was upset.
Well, I don't take anything you say seriously, so.
Perfect.
Yeah. Anyway, so now we're moving on to the Fox Sports 1 card. 4 fights, starting with bantamweights Uri Alcantara and Leandro Issa.
Yes.
Yes. What is Uri Alcantara doing at the bottom of the card? I was like.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to fuck up my count, is what he's trying to do.
What are you counting?
My percentage of right picks versus wrong picks.
Oh, I see.
Alcantara to me is like he's like Lucy Van Pelt. These are all the geeks. The geeks are all like, come on, Eugene, come on. Look. I know last time I kind of fucked you over, but this time completely different.
Best training camp I've ever had.
Best training camp I've ever
motivated.
And then like I start to, that Kool-Aid's pretty. That's pretty. Oh, that Kool-Aid's great. All right, Alcantara, I'm gonna put him on my card.
Yeah. Well, you should ask why the Kool-Aid tastes like almonds. All right, so he had a loss to Frankie Saenz last time. That's why.
Yeah. I picked him to win that time.
Yeah. There you go. Well, do you care? So we care.
I care,
but we can't trust it.
I can't trust him, man.
No, I'm not even.
So I had one fight, and he was completely justified. The other women fight from this past weekend, even though it had the titty shot, the Jessamine Duke,
Jessamine Duke and Elizabeth Phillips. One of the worst.
Actually, no. It was Miesha Tate
I didn't have the titty. That nipple slip.
No. I know, but remember with Miesha, I said I cared, but I didn't care enough to make a pick.
Ah, I see. And
So,
and your point is?
That's how I feel about Alcantara.
I see. Okay, that's fair enough. All right. So welterweight, Warley Alves and Nordine Taleb.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't care. All right. Light heavyweight, Rafael Fajau Calvacante and Patrick Cummins.
Yes, I care.
Absolutely. Fajau, is he a Gicta?
I think Fajau is a Gicta, man.
Yeah.
No. Gicta is like that's a Cadillac plan.
So
I can't trust anymore. I'm not saying he's there.
He's just a Gict.
He's just a Gict.
So you're willing to trust a Gict again, but they're on probation. Is that what you're saying? It's like eyes on you.
Well, and also, in terms of the educability scale, Patrick Cummins, I don't see him being so high up or strong on that count.
What about learning things?
Yeah, he's just one of those hard-headed wrestlers. So, but that might be enough to win the fight, right? But you have to. I mean, I got to guard against saying Fajau is in his own country. He's going to want to turn out. That shit weighs heavily on a guy's head, I mean, that's the curse of the hometown curse. So, who would I pick? God damn it,
It's a tough.
I'm gonna pick Cummins.
Yeah, I think I got to go with Cummins too. Although he's, again, like you say, not necessarily the king of fight IQ, but
But he hasn't been around long enough to earn a gift, whereas Fajau has.
Yeah, Fajau's he's done it all. He's lost fights he should have won. He's lost fights he was winning. He's failed drug tests. He's gotten hurt a lot. Yeah, he's complaining.
So this is a battle. This is a battle of I feel I'm distrusting Cummins a little bit less.
Yeah, although he got blasted by OSP.
Yeah, but that's understandable. OSP he was on the line. He was on some kind of horrible chopping block possibility. Potential squandered. Guys looking at him askance. He had to come out with something.
Scared and backed into a corner, kind of like white America right now.
I like the segue, but I'm not seeing it.
No, what you feel comfortable going to the theater and say Lafayette, Louisiana? The same Schumer comedy looks.
Yeah. You know what? I think I said this when Supreme Court passed the same-sex marriage. Approved the same-sex marriage, and I said, you guys can celebrate. I did this in an Aussie video. I go, celebrate all you want, but if you think the lunatic shoe is dropped, the other shoe is dropped. Just wait. And it's in the air, man. It's in the vacant strangers. I mean, not only that, it would have happened anyway. I mean, the dying fumes, the last year of an Obama administration. It's like people finally realized that we had a biracial president. So it's just a lot of strange craziness in the air. I mean, the fact that Trump still sits on top of the Republican tells me all I need to know about. Sorrell is prancing around here in his Speedos.
Delightful. I hope you can stay in your seat and not have to chase him around the gym.
Yeah. Benny Hill style. So yeah, I think that who knows? Who knows? I mean, white dudes have been under a lot of pressure since about 1960, man. Or if you want to include the creation of rock and roll and white teenage girls cheering Little Richard, we can go back to 52.
There's that. But during the 60s, the economy was booming, so there was, they could, but after 74 and the oil.
It doesn't matter if the economy is booming and you're going home.
It makes it a little easier.
Yeah, but you're going home to a woman who's like, I don't know who I am. I've always been somebody's daughter or somebody's girlfriend, and now I'm somebody's wife and mother. I don't know who I am. I've got to go find myself.
Well, that bra burning business, that really kicked off in the 70s.
Well, bras cause cancer, but so, I was okay with that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, moving right along. Welterweight, Demian Maia and Neil Magny.
Yes, of course.
Big care. Who are you picking?
Man, this is really like
I was a Neil Magny doubter. I was a Neil Magny hater for a long time, but now he converted me. I'm kind of believing the guy. But Demian Maia, pretty tough test.
Damian Maia's fight IQ is interesting. You know, he reminds me of me as a student. Like I might get 100 on a test, you know, and still not know how I got the 100. I might get an 85 on a test and realize that, you know, exactly why I got the 85 and like just couldn't do anything to stop it, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I once got 100 on a high school chemistry exam because I was sitting on the front row and the smartest kid in the class turned in his little Scantron bubble sheet up at the front, and I could read it upside down and backwards and filled it in. And then I was bragging about that later, and one of the assholes in my class was like, "You didn't do that. You couldn't see that far." And I was like, which is more believable, that I earned 100 on the test or that I cheated? Like, you know.
Did he turn you in?
No, he didn't turn me in. He would have gotten killed, but, you know.
There's a girl, Rachel Yuri, in one of my classes in high school. I go, Rachel, what's the answer to number 10? She looks at me and goes, I go, Rachel, number 10. And after class, she comes up to me and goes, Eugene, you're better than that. I was like, God,
wow.
Give me that.
Some stern moralizing from Rachel Yuri.
Yeah, well, I went to Stanford, and Rachel Yuri ended up going to like some crap school, so there you go.
You were better than that, huh?
Yeah, I was better than that.
Yeah, see, you cheat your way to the Ivy League of the West Coast. That's how we do it in America.
I only did it one time.
Just the once.
Just the one time.
Well, that explains why your corporate career sputtered out, doesn't it?
Well, you know what? The mistake. We don't have to talk about that.
Didn't Andy Grove teach you anything?
I love that guy. That guy was inspirational, that guy.
Yeah, see, I think he was saving the real stuff for his other proteges, Eugene.
Well, you know what? Andy Grove, I'm going to come out on a limb here, and Andy Grove, the man who escaped from the Nazis from Hungary as a child, got it in. Got the Nazi thing in. He is the number one reason, I think, why Steve Jobs is dead.
Really? Because he's the one who said, "Hey, Steve, I've got a great natural healer you need to see."
Pretty much. He got prostate cancer, and they said, "Well, you know, we're gonna do this." He goes, "Whoa! If we do this surgery, when do I get my next erection?" And they go like, "Pretty much never." And he's like, "Fuck you! You know, that's no quality of life." I saw Andy's assistant. You know.
I see, and she was inspiring, as I say.
She was very adept at all kinds of assisting, I imagine.
So Andy got holistic, whatever bullshit hoodoo, and he. But
it wouldn't have mattered because prostate cancer is such a slow-growing cancer. It's like when you, huh?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Zappa had the kind that kills you pretty quick.
But Frank Zappa's general level of health was shit.
Was it?
He was a smoker, lifelong smoker, man.
Oh, I see. Sure, blame the victim, Eugene. Blame the victim. So Steve Jobs had like pancreatic or something, which is not something to fight with.
Ask Patrick Swayze, man. That shit goes fast. You can't fuck around with it, you know.
Yeah, that's.
And the surgery is minor, and relatively minor, and then you take enzymes and you're all right, man. But if you're hard-headed about it, Jobs and Patrick Swayze, boom.
There you go. All right, so
but Jobs was a good guy too, though. I enjoyed working with him.
Now that is not something you hear very often.
You know what? Because he was a prick, but what they don't finish the sentence. He was a prick to people who deserved it. That's what they don't finish. That's what they don't tell you.
Is it like anybody who crossed his path?
No. If you were a slacker without talent, forget it. And honestly, in a corporation, you're not all going to have A-list players. That's the reality of it.
That's true. It's true. All right, so back to brass tacks. Damian Maia, Neil Magny.
I'm going with Magny, man. I can't. I love Damian Maia, but I just can't.
Can't. He's been all over the place. He had his run at the middleweight, then he tried to make a run at welterweight, and it's like he was a great grappler. Then he kind of learned some striking, and they never really put the whole game together.
Yeah. Yeah, but, you know, it's in his home country, and he's done well. I mean, traditionally, if we want to analyze things, he's done well there.
That's true. Although, he's also called a jiu-jitsu playboy by some there in his home country.
I might call him that.
Well, you know, because you're a luta livre guy, right?
Yeah, because I'm a luta livre playboy. Look at all of what I've got.
Somebody else's diplomas up there.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah. All right. So you're picking Magny. I got to pick Magny too. I'm not going to make it interesting. Sorry. All right. So now we move on to the 7-fight main card. Apparently, they were contractually obligated to include 2 of the Ultimate Fighter Brazil fights on the pay-per-view card. So that's why they're doing it. Although it's very strange. So women's strawweights, Claudia Gadelha and Jessica Aguilar.
Yeah, I care.
Yeah, this is a very important fight for that division, and which I think that Joanna Jędrzejczyk has made it a very interesting division myself. Jędrzejczyk, that's what I said.
Jędrzejczyk, okay.
What did I say?
I've gone back and forth with this with the little lady, and I'm not doing it.
She thinks because she's Polish, she has some kind of insight on how to pronounce.
Yeah, and she gets like annoyed too, like hey, there are fucking 17 letters in this name, and Polish is officially the hardest language in the world. So
I heard it was Turkish.
No. Polish is number 1.
Turkish has 17 declensions.
Turkish.
Yeah. Wow. I don't even know what a declension is, and there's 17 of them.
I think it's a small animal.
I hope it's edible. Anyway, Claudia Gadelha, Jessica Aguilar, do you have a pick, sir?
I think I want to go with Claudia.
Yeah, I think so too. She burned me a little. I was buying the hype. She lost, but it was an iffy decision. We'll see. I'll go Gadelha too. All right, so now we got heavyweight. I has a sad about this fight. Heavyweights, Soa Palele versus Antonio Bigfoot Silva.
Yeah, man.
Kind of go.
First of all, I care.
Yeah, definitely care.
Second of all, I don't see Palele pulling this out.
Really? Even though Bigfoot, since they made him quit the TRT, has been a ghost of himself?
Nah, I think he's got something to prove.
You do. But does he have the T to prove it with?
Well, look, there's a reason why they gave him Palele.
That is a dark and cynical take. And that reason is Palele is semi-ineffectual and prone to gassing?
Yeah. It's a Rocky moment, I mean, in fact, if Palele doesn't come out to the theme from Rocky, he's crazy.
I see.
I was at the Felt Forum, and I saw Maynard Ferguson come out, and that was a high point of the fucking show. I was on my chair losing my mind. He came down into the audience. All the players came down into the aisles at the Felt Forum, and they started playing the theme to Rocky. It was crazy.
I see. So you're saying you prefer that to Eye of the Tiger?
Yeah, that on the trumpet, yes.
I see. Well, I don't know. Rocky 3 that was more my demo. Although I did see Rocky in the theater.
Yeah.
Actually,
are you gonna make a pick here? Where are we with the pick?
I'm picking Soa Palele, man. Bigfoot is done.
No, okay, you're crazy.
Well, we've established that.
Okay, all right. So now, we got some action. So that's all right. That's what it's the name of the game. I gotta have some other reason to chortle. To be self-satisfiedly chortling on Sunday. So
I see. So we'll see. All right. So now we got heavyweight Stefan Struve against Antonio Rodrigo Big Nog Nogueira.
I care, and this is a fucking super high stakes, man. Super high stakes.
This also makes me hesitant. I mean, Big
Nog. Yeah. That's what I mean. No matter which way I go on this, I'm going to end up feeling bad at the end of the evening,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I don't know, man. Other than the fact that he's hardly fought, in the last 4 years he's fought 5 times, so that's not too bad. And his fight against Verdum was a pretty good scrap.
It's feeling to me like the last 5 minutes of The Godfather,
Yeah, where all the bodies are being rolled out.
Yeah, like this, they're trying to. Somebody's trying to clean house here, so just get rid of these. But because what happens to the loser of these last 2 fights? Or we could go back even further. What happens to the loser, Magny and Maya? What happens to the loser there? What happens?
Told you right now.
Huh?
I've read of Magny for sure. He's on like a 6-7 fight win streak, and Maya's not going anywhere.
Well, neither is Junior Dos Santos. but it's yet to be determined where nowhere is.
It's true. It's true. It's idling away, idling away. Maybe they'll be in the Wanderlei Silva zone.
You know, the door will creak open. Oh no, okay. The door creaks open again. I got the number. Got my number here. No. So I'm gonna go with fucking Struve. I don't know.
Struve, huh? Man, talk about a gicta.
Yeah, I know, but
you don't even know if he's gonna make it into the cage. He could have another one of his health problems or anxiety attacks.
But his ground is good, and I see Bigfoot. I see Big Nog taking him to the ground.
Struve's not gonna beat Big Nog on the ground. I hope. Oh, that would be humiliating.
All right, well then we got action. I don't feel really strongly about it, but I'm glad to have some action on it.
Yeah, all right. So now we come to the tough fight, bantamweight Delano Lopez versus Reginaldo Vieira, and I'm sure they'll be identified as something completely different on the show.
Don't give a shit.
I don't care either. All right, lightweight Glyco Franca and Fernando Bruno.
Don't care.
Ooh, what? Yeah, exactly. All right, so now we get light heavyweight Shogun Rua against Mauricio Shogun Rua against Antonio Rogerio Little Nog Nogueira. And confusingly, both of the Nog brothers are nicknamed Minotauro, although spelled differently.
I know.
But it's like, yeah. Like it couldn't get any more confusing. You can tell them apart because one's a heavyweight, one's a light heavyweight, and Big Nog has the dimple on his back where he got run over by the boss. But
you know what? I don't. Man, this is like, you know. But you know what? This is only because we're the age we are.
We, I'm just saying, I believe some of us are in our.
No, I didn't say we're the same age, but I'm just saying that we are. If we were 23 or 24, this fight would be completely cool to us.
Seeing two old men just slagging it away.
Yeah, whatever. No matter what, youth wins.
Aren't you the big advocate of the senior league concept?
I am. MMAARP. That was my idea.
And so here it is. This is like the definitive senior league.
Yeah, I never said it was going to be pretty, though. That's the thing. Yeah.
See. So he has a sad.
Yeah, but I'm gonna pick Shogun.
Yeah, I think Shogun.
But that's me just wanting to believe, you know. Like.
Well, I kind of believed in. I was always a Brazilian top team guy against Chuda Boxer myself, you know. And the Pride days, I was always rooting for the jiu-jitsu guys to beat the Chuda Boxer guys. But I think Shogun and Little Nog is one of those contests that Shogun, they could travel through time and be reborn as Galactus and you know, Kang the Conqueror, and I think Shogun would win every time.
Hey, you know, I interviewed some guy who runs this comic book store, League Comics, and he told me something pretty interesting, that you don't know, that Hulk was never supposed to be green.
He was purple originally, or gray.
Gray. He was gray, and it was a printer error, and they just decided, fuck it, we'll leave it. Just leave it the way it is.
He's going to get robbed at the Starbucks parking lot?
No, my car is not here, but I just, you know, I'm sitting in front of a big plate glass window, so I'm, somebody's walking up on me. I can see them before they see me, but if I hunker down, then they can't see me. So
why are you stretching up instead of hunkering down?
Because I want to see who's walking up on me, and then when it's then I
I see. You're afraid it's somebody wanting jiu-jitsu lessons that.
We have a lot of homeless people here who wander in, you know, and want to talk.
It is good homeless country, man. The climate there is perfect for homeless.
Hey, you know, I'd say the same about Austin. I will gladly trade you.
The homeless are kind of shy right now because it is hot. This is where we separate the homeless that are going to make it permanent Austin residents from the homeless that are going to hit the road because it's 99, 100 degrees, day in, day out.
Yeah.
Good soul.
Well, you guys got like swimming holes, though, don't you?
Yeah, but we keep the homeless out of those with a passion.
Really?
Oh, extreme prejudice. Yeah.
What happens if a homeless guy goes to a swimming hole?
Well, they get booed. They get driven away. That's, you know, it depends how smelly they are. You know, I mean, if they're clean homeless and you can't tell, you know, like there's homeless guys that are living in their car and have a gym membership. You know, they're working out next to you at Gold's Gym, taking a shower. You don't even know they're homeless. They're going to an office. You know.
I know this.
See, but those guys can come swim. But the ones that are soaked in urine and everything, they can't come swim.
I mean, urine's a sterile solution. Stop.
Yeah, it's not that sterile. And did you?
Especially not several days after.
Yeah. Urine interacts with chlorine, and when your eyes are red in the pool, it's not because of the chlorine, it's because of the pee-pee. South Park was right about all that. Anyway, so we're both picking Shogun, is that what we're saying?
Oh, well, I was. I didn't know you were.
I was. Didn't you get my whole Galactus?
Yeah, I got that.
Like, Shogun, I think, would beat him. He'd beat him at chess. He'd beat him at tiddlywinks, fist fight,
shuttlecock.
It'd be I don't know what shuttlecock is. It sounds.
Don't ask.
But I think, I don't know. But you rooted for Shogun. Is that what you're saying? You rooted for. You saw the shooter box of guys as the good guys.
Yeah, in general.
Even though
you know what, I don't feel super confident. You know, I mean, at the end of this fight, some guy's taking a long trip home. You know.
Well, it won't be as long since they're already in Brazil.
I mean, in terms of the amount of time they'll be staying at home.
I see. Did you see the safety messages the UFC sending out to the fighters on this card?
No. What about transgender prostitutes? What?
There's a little bit of that. There's a watch out for the AIDS, but there's also don't answer your hotel room door if you don't know the person knocking at it. There's keep an eye on your drinks. Don't let anybody handle your drinks out of your sight. There's stay away from crowds on the beach. There's entire neighborhoods they're being advised to avoid, including some of the hot nightlife.
Oh, if I'm on the beach, man, I got a Speedo. What's the expectation? What am I going to lose on the beach?
What do you mean, what are you going to lose on the beach? Could lose your life, Eugene.
Who's going to kill a guy in a Speedo?
You know, people in Speedo get killed all the time.
Where?
Haven't you seen Rickson Gracie beat up Hugo Duarte on the beach?
Yeah, that was a beef.
You know, but I mean, I don't know. I've been to the Copacabana beach, and it can get scary. It's super crowded. The Brazilians love to swim in enormous packs. And when we were there was like some kind of movement in the crowd. And then like my niece, who was living in Brazil at the time, you know, and understood the Portuguese, was saying somebody's getting jacked. Like, you know, it was like 100 feet away from us, and all we could.
I'm gonna steal your sunblock.
What about sunblock?
No, I mean, what are they stealing? What are they for? What?
Beating people. It's not theft necessarily. It's just beatings, violence. Could be rape. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's you know. So, but I mean, have you been to Rio?
I have not.
So
I made the mistake. I made the mistake of telling my wife at the time that a friend of mine had gone, and he got laid 48 times in 45 days. And then she says, "Okay, next time I got to call to cover a fight in Rio." I was like, "All right." She goes, "When are we leaving?" I was like, "I can't. I got a free ticket. I can't afford the second one." So, but okay, I got it.
Oh well, you know, that's what you get for talking so much, running your yap.
Keep your fucking mouth shut, you know.
Yeah. But you know, I don't know. That's where Buttman got the HIV.
Yeah, he got the HIV. He went seeking the HIV. He was an HIV seeker.
A bug chaser, they call it?
He was depressed about a girlfriend dumping him.
Christy Lynn. No,
then he said, next thing
he wasn't depressed about a girl dumping. He was depressed about a girl driving off the Pacific Coast Highway.
Oh, she killed herself.
Yeah, or died. I mean, I don't know if she.
My interactions with Stagliano have always been very, very cordial. He seems like a nice guy. And so he picked up a prostitute to drown his sorrows, ended up being a transgendered prostitute, and then he goes, "Oh, what the hell?"
When in Rome, as they say.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's that common to actually be on the receiving end of the sexual attentions of a pre-op transgendered prostitute, but what do I know?
Again, that's not a taste of mine, so I couldn't speak to that predilection, but, you know.
Sure you couldn't.
Huh?
All right, let's just move along.
Moving right along. You ever watch the Alan Partridge show? You know what I'm talking about, the Steve Coogan show?
Yeah. Alan Partridge is great.
My favorite bit was how he was always fascinated with the ladyboys of Thailand, the mystery, the exoticism of the ladyboy of Thailand. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, areas to avoid: any areas around or near a favela, the Santa Teresa neighborhood, avoid Lapa and the nightclubs and nightlife, And avoid picking up dates in any clubs or hotel or anywhere else. You could be a setup for a robbery. Also, a high incidence of AIDS among prostitutes and substantial numbers are underage girls. And beware of spotters in and around clubs that are watching your actions, money spending, and the state of your impairment. Always
Yeah.
So,
But as a native New Yorker, I remember when I went to Barcelona and they talked about Las Ramblas, the street, and it's like, man, I'm still not. I've been in California a long time, but I'm not counting money in the street ever.
you don't just win some money at three-card money and just flash it around?
Yeah, right. Like that never happens. Find the red.
Flash it around.
What's that?
Every time I've won money at three-card Monte, I've flashed it around. That's what they're paying you to do. If you want
exactly. If they're paying, I had a friend who was a three-card Monte dealer at Tel Aviv, and I was like, "Hey, man, what's it?" And he finally just looks at me and he goes, "Nobody who knows anything about life plays this game." I love that. I was like, "I'll answer all the questions you want, but you got to know nobody who knows anything about life plays this game."
Yeah, I mean, falling for the pigeon drop is one thing. But three-card Monte is inexcusable. I mean, if you're over 7 and you get hung by three-card Monte, you're probably helpless. Probably doomed. So now that gets us to the main event. Ronda Rousey, women's bantamweight champion, against Betch Correia.
Betch Correia. Yeah. Well, there are a couple of curious things. First of all, we care, right?
Yeah, big care. Biggest fighter in the game right now.
And there's something that I heard that gave me a slight pause, an interesting pause, and that was Ronda saying, "I'm angry enough that I'm thinking about punishing her."
You think that's some hubris there?
No, I'm thinking that's actually what I'm thinking is that's a misdirection, because it creates action for the fight, because people say, well, if Ronda decides to try to go 5 rounds out punching a puncher, then she's going to make some mistakes and open herself up. So there's a possibility. In actual fact, I don't think Ronda has any interest in going 5 rounds. I think she has an interest in keeping her first round streak going. And I think she's creating the illusion that
she lost the first round streak. Remember, Miesha Tate lasted what?
Yeah, that's true, but she still has a preponderance of her wins in the first round, and that's one for the record books. And so I think it was a bet setup, but the odds just make it crazy. I mean, I know when you got somebody who's got an undefeated record, it's hard to. You have to have a super compelling argument for them to believe that doing anything other than keeping that record going makes sense. But the odds are so phantasmagorical that it just makes it almost tempting to put 50 on Betch and let the chips fall.
Yeah. Is this your 3-card Monte play?
Yeah, well, you are my princess bride play.
Let's see.
I picked against, who was it? Kat Zingano. I picked Kat Zingano. I thought she had a chance.
You're foolishness, Eugene.
Overly eager. I even bought some of the Liz Caramouche. She bit my fucking arm thing a little bit. But I'm tired of picking against Ronda, I think the significance. She has no significant fights as far as I'm concerned until she deals with the cyborg issue. So
I agree. I think that the division is recycling itself. You saw Miesha Tate win this weekend. Pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah.
But that just to me says the division has nothing to offer Ronda. She needs to take that fight with Cyborg. She needs to do it. Hopefully around Christmas. Like there's rumors of some kind of like they could get Ronda and Cyborg. They could get Fedor's UFC debut. Maybe a lot.
I have no belief in the ability. I have lost absolute and total belief in the management structure at the UFC. I think if a right decision is made, it's probably completely accidental because they've done such a great, fantastic job of making wrong decisions the past few weeks.
I see. Did you see they didn't even let Tom Lawler? He wanted to dress up as Conor McGregor for his weigh-ins. You know how he did Dan Severn, he did the Just Bleed guy. The Reebok people had no idea what he was talking about. Wouldn't help him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get what you're saying. But I think they still know how to book fights. I mean, they've been stepping on their dicks left and right this year, and still booking plenty of fun fights. So.
Yeah, you know what? There are guys out there selling crack who can tell you, I had a pretty good month, sold a lot of crack. Tough job.
You think it's easy to sell crack? You think it's easy?
I don't know. Well, you tell me. I don't know.
I've never sold any crack, but I hear the customers come to you.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, these guys. I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know if you saw Knuckle Up, but I did. It's disheartening, man. It's disheartening. I mean, because especially personally for me, because it's like a
naive youngster like yourself losing your idealism.
Yeah, but it's not so much idealism, man. It's like this was a place that I kind of go to where I could forget for a moment that it too closely mirrors my own actual life, Yeah.
Yeah. It's you don't want to come home from 8 hours of the man sticking it to you, to watch the man sticking it to fight.
Yep. It's not, It's just, and I'm like, I keep looking. At work, I'm looking around for somebody to come. Is somebody gonna step up and fucking help us here? Nobody. Nothing.
No.
It's like being in the grips of a fucking Nazi dictatorship.
Or say being in the EU with Germany and hitting a little.
Yeah, right. No. You have
those Puerto Ricans can move to New York and vote. Like,
hey, you know what? They said to understand what's happening in Greece, think about a teenager.
Okay.
Think about a teenager who's run up the credit card and crashed the car, and then you'll have an understanding of what's happening. And you say, look, you got to pay this money back. And the teenager's like, man, I had lots of contingencies. And,
It's more like a teenager who had like a friend who wrecked their car and stole all their money. The friend is long gone. In fact, you probably aided and abetted the friend making it off to college. Now you're just screwing the teenager because you're like, this kid was never going to do anything anyway. That's more my take.
Yeah, it's possible. But I mean, anything. We're setting up. Like you're setting up the. Like you've said it, setting up the march of the far right. So that'll be interesting as always.
Yeah, it's gonna get ugly, I believe. And you're a gun carrying guy, but like in a dark.
Hey, whoa! I don't know anything about that.
I heard. In a darkened theater, somebody starts shooting, like everybody else pulls out their gun and starts shooting back, isn't exactly like the public safety plan I had in mind. You know what I mean? Like, that's
you're right about that. But at the same time, if I stand up in the theater and I start shining a flashlight, it's pretty easy for everybody else with flashlights to focus their flashlight on me. And the people that might get hurt in the
second flashlight goes on, you don't have any idea who the shooter is.
Yes, you do. Yeah. And the reality of it is the people who might get accidentally shot in the process are the people who are going to get shot anyway. But I mean, at the same time, I have a solution. I don't go to the movies.
Let's everybody just stay at home.
Yeah, that's right. Have your groceries delivered, baby, and then put them on the porch. I'll raise it up with the rope, and then I'll lower your money down. We're done. What a
beautiful country we are building.
What about the free range? Free range in those kids.
Yeah, it is what it is. The kid you're talking about was 2 miles away from home. That's pretty stupid.
No, she wasn't.
She was in front of her house, and they tracked her to 2 miles away. That's where she disappeared.
No. That's where the dogs got the scent. She was killed in the apartment complex by a 15-year-old boy who then fucking ran around with the body and then finally found a dumpster near the apartment, dumped her in the dumpster, and she was raped and strangled to death.
That's horrific. But again, like, that shit can happen anytime, anywhere, and I think, not staying, like, hiding in terror is not any way to go through life. Like,
it's a way to go through life not being raped and strangled.
I don't know about that. My best friend who was raped and strangled was at her fucking job when she got abducted at gunpoint. Like,
at her job?
At her job.
What a fucking job does she have?
She had a video store job in the 80s. Like, small town video store.
What time?
It was 7 p.m.
Did they catch the guy who did it?
The next day.
You notice I said guy. I didn't even
That was
pause.
obvious. Yeah, women generally don't kidnap, rape, and murder. But yeah, no, they caught the idiot the next day. The only question in his trial was how in on the fix the defense attorney was, and you know, he got snuffed 10 years later. But I'm just saying, shit happens. You take all the precautions you want. Sometimes somebody's got your number. That's all.
No, you know what? I had a store for years, and I had the first year I had a store. The woman who I had running my store was great, funny.
What kind of store did you have?
Huh?
What kind of store?
Record, tape, T-shirt, video, tattoos out front, rehearsal studio on either side, and
Wow.
I even sold guns there as well when I had my federal firearms license.
I see.
So
I didn't know about this whole businessman side of you, Eugene.
oh yeah, it's a punk rock emporium, and she was great, bubbly, cute, funny, you know, and I had my business was great that first year, and then one day she told me she had to quit, you know, because it was sort of off the beaten path, and as she was about to close, some guy, not a record buyer, came in and wanted to use the bathroom, and he came in, used the bathroom, and then he's kind of comes out, looking around, and she smells smell. Like, and we said, hey, man, the guy was smoking crack in the bathroom. Who you fucking come into our store and smoking crack? It was in Palo Alto. And so she goes, look, you can't do that here, you know? And the guy flipped out, and she goes, I can't, fuck that. I can't be here. Same, at 7 o'clock. I can't be here at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock alone. I can't do it. She quit. I hired some guy, Paul, ruined my business. So
I see. So you're blaming the clerk.
yeah, it's like that Far Side comic where the baker has a 300-pound assistant and goes, man, we're moving more donuts than ever, but we're not making any profit. I can't figure it out.
This guy's a big record collector, is that what you're saying? Had a lot of tattoos.
Well, that and, you know, having sex in the bathroom with teenage girls from the local high school and
yeah.
showing up late, leaving early, taking long lunches, single-handedly ruined me.
Well.
That was his revenge, I guess, for me having sex with his girlfriend, but I guess I just didn't see that coming. Again.
Have you heard about this cuck-servative term? The conservatives are throwing around at each other. If you're not racist enough, they call you a cuck-servative. So this guy was no cuck-servative, Eugene. He wasn't putting up with it.
Yeah. Well, you know, I asked him, if it's any consolation to anybody listening, I did ask him. I said, hey, your girlfriend came and gave me your ex-girlfriend came and gave me her number. He goes, I don't care what she does. She can do it. And I go, no. I'm mentioning this to you because you're my roommate. You work in my store. We're friends. If you're not down with this, then I throw this in the garbage. And he goes, well, she's more like my sister now. I don't really care. No, you can't say that to me. I'm giving you a chance. You gotta say.
Well, now you know. Now you know. That was, that's. Guys say one thing and, mean another.
I've had a number of guys break up with their girlfriends and then come to me specifically, go, well, Eugene, now you can have sex with her. And I was like, okay.
Were they like, so can I take pictures or what? What was their angle on that?
Oh, that's a given. That has to happen. So I'm working on this whole series of photos of married women kissing their husband. And then the second frame of the series, it's kind of like Maria Abramovich. The second portion of the series is them kissing my penis. I have this juxtaposition of the wedding vow sanctity and the completely.
Have you seen the guy that calls himself the internet superstar that goes around screaming, I'm going to fuck your wife? Like, he just walks up to people at random screaming, I'm going to fuck your wife! Long dick style! It's
and
like,
what happens when he does that?
Well, there's like, it's hard to tell because these guys are pranksters. So, like, at one point he was claiming he got shot, but I think that was all bullshit. And there's another video of a big bodybuilder chasing him around. And this is a big black guy, but there's even bigger, blacker guys that chase him around. And but I don't know. But Google internet superstar, fuck your wife.
I don't want to, man. This masochism prankster shit. I really dislike it.
Yeah, the Jackass, was that the?
Yeah, Jack is what the Sons of Jackass,
It's an enormous. It's a whole thing now. Like, it's a genre of entertainment.
Yeah, I really dislike it.
I generally do dislike it, but I like anything where there's levels of bullshit and you can't figure out what's going on. Like,
well, no, I mean these guys are. I'm going to go to a fucking a really bad neighborhood and try to de-pants the guys there.
Well, that's weak shit. That's just bum fights. That's all.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Punch up, not down.
Yeah,
That's
right. That's right. Right.
fight the power, not beat the powerless. That's
Yeah. You think it's fun? You think it's fun living a degraded existence? You're wrong. It's not
yes.
that fun. So.
No. But it's like the dentist that goes to Zimbabwe and kills the famous lion.
How'd that guy? We're seeing just desserts being applied now, and I'm fully
satisfied until he's been extradited to Zimbabwe. Like personally.
Well, I was hoping that his business would get firebombed. I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet.
Well, he did apparently have to shut it down, at least for the day. Yeah. But I think firebombing. I'm definitely not going to advocate firebombing.
You can't publicly advocate firebombing.
I wouldn't be.
If it happens, it happens.
Yeah. But you can't incite. Like that's the thing. You don't want to.
I mean, look, man. If they could sneak up on this animal, no. I mean, this is not the way it happened.
On an animal, they drove up to it with a fucking carcass on the hood of their car and lured it out of the national park.
Yeah, I know a guy who went on he was into wild boar hunting. And he went on a wild boar hunt, and he said that it wasn't legit.
No problem hunting wild boar.
No, but he said it wasn't legitimate. I go, how did you know it wasn't legitimate? He goes, I threw a can at it.
And it was dead.
It was a fucking domesticated pig.
Ah, I see.
He's the biggest, wild boar. And Charlotte.
There's a thin line between wild boar and feral pig, though. I mean, like pigs get out all the time, and then you get a pack.
Hey man, this pig was close enough that the guy had to throw a can at it.
Threw a can. I've been close to javelinas in Texas, and they're scary fuckers. And like I didn't throw any cans at it.
Yeah,
but
you did not throw any cans at it.
Yeah.
And the pig looks up and goes, huh? Is it time to eat? Come on, man. It's a fucking pet. You just killed a pet. Why'd you go hunt Popeye?
Well,
come here, Popeye. Boom. He was coming right at me.
Well, the police shoot people's dogs all the time.
All the time.
All the time. And pigs are scary. We raised pigs before, and they're fucking scary monsters. I don't,
okay.
I don't know. They're enormous for one thing. Like you seen grown pigs.
They can get big, yeah. And they're fast, big and fast.
And they eat. They'll eat you right up. They'll fucking eat anything.
What was that? Was that Snatch or was that? It was Snatch, right?
Where the brick top fed everybody.
Yeah, or the bad dentures.
Yeah.
You know a pig can do the man's car. What was the actor? It was the same actor who was in the angry John Osborne's Angry Young Albert Finney, right?
Was it Albert? I don't think it was Albert Finney. Albert Finney's too big a name. Snatch, IMDb. But so you're picking.
No, to type it, because I'm pretty. I gotta know. I gots to know.
I'm getting there. Snatch, IMDb. Cast, crew. Come on. Cast and crew.
I would look on the cast.
Well, I'm getting there. Just settle down. Let's see. Bricktop. Alan Ford was the man who played Bricktop.
What?
Alan Ford. Was no Phoebe.
No, that's wrong.
It's not wrong. It's absolutely correct. Alan Ford. Alan Ford. That's who did it. But Rousey. So you think I don't think Correia has any chance, but I don't think Rousey's that unbeatable. She just charges at people, gets the clinch, takes them down.
Yep.
If you avoid the clinch, it's a whole different fight.
Yeah, if you keep the hips on the outside, but who does this?
Or just
Who's managed to do this?
How about a jab and some footwork? Circle away. It's not like her footwork is scintillating. She's charging at people.
Yep.
And forcing the clinch. I mean, somebody with a big jab, a big front kick. I think Cyborg. I think she packs her shit. I think Cyborg whips Ronda's ass up one side and down the other, just like she did Rana.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. But that's why we're not seeing this fight.
It could be. It could well be. All right. So, any final thoughts on this card?
No.
All right.
I mean, the thing is, I don't think you can underestimate, man. I really don't think that I'm still. I mean, I'm not making this up. I don't feel good
about Rousey Correia.
No, I don't feel good about the state of the UFC. I don't feel fucking good about being a fan of the sport that I'm a fan of. I mean,
I've been there for like 5 years, Eugene. you're.
The bald one is really put me off, man. It's really put me off. First with Watson, then Stitch, and then this. At first it's kind of. I mean, it's kind of weirdly coalesced with the Donald Trump thing. I mean, this fuck you thing. It's kind of amusing at first, but I'm done, man.
Not to go for a president or a president of a major corporation.
Yes. I mean, I'm thinking, there's a great Morrissey liner, Smith, why can't we be nice? Nothing wrong with that, Not, you know what? Everybody's an asshole. Everybody's an asshole.
Everybody's got an asshole at least.
Yeah. I mean, come on, 9-year-old kids, fuck off, kid. Go back to WWE. Do your home. I mean, come on, man. I'm sure, he's got in this weird Elvis place where guys are sitting around like, hey, Elvis, you're pretty funny, Elvis. You're pretty funny. Send him another tweet. Yeah, that's great.
You don't think the Memphis Mafia was giving Elvis good advice? Is that?
Yeah, no.
Come on, it's more fireworks. Yeah.
I mean, somebody ungraciously called. There's a. I won't mention his name, but you'll know who he is when I say they mentioned They called his fight team the Snack Pack instead of the Scrap Pack. And I go, why do they call them that? Because they like to snack a lot? And the guy looks at me and goes, no, because everybody's eating free off them.
Ouch. Yes, a bunch of parasites. I saw the Amy Winehouse documentary this weekend. Good old chance.
I saw. I thought the documentary was lacking,
Really? I thought it was. What was it missing? I didn't pay any attention to her when she was alive, so this was my whole introduction.
With the fact that they create the illusion that she started singing at a birthday party and discovered she could sing. She went to a special fucking fame school with Adele, and so this was part of her preordained plan. She was as much all in on this as Serena or Venus Williams, Tiger Woods. This was, I mean, I'm not saying the father wasn't a piece of shit, but it puts it in a little better context to know that this is precisely what she had wanted to do for a really long time.
And the father was the one behind it all,
Well, he was a piece of shit. He left the mother, I mean, there was an abandoned father issue, and that was legitimate. But let's not forget, that this was, it's like somebody who jumped in a pool and then realized it was colder, deeper, and rougher water than they expected. But don't make it like this was she just happened to be this uber talented kid. And no, this was, she knew she was talented. And they showed it, but you kind of glossed over the fact that she wrote her own stuff. She's no.
They showed her writing, but I didn't realize that it sort of gave the impression that her manager had discovered her and sort of pulled her into the career. Yeah.
She's no Britney Spears, Alana Del Rey, where people are producing. She could read music, wrote music. Wrote the songs, wrote the lyrics.
Talented. That was clear from the movie. But did you hear Buzz Osborne's critique of the Kurt Cobain HBO documentary?
I did. What part of it did you not like?
Just the whole bit. He just shredded the whole fucking thing. He was like, the story about Kurt losing his virginity to a retarded girl. That was bullshit.
Yep.
He was like Courtney Love. The idea that Courtney Love thought about fucking around on Kurt Cobain and he killed himself, that's bullshit. He told me about her cheating on him all the time. Like,
yeah.
It was just like, it was a good movie, but it was completely fantasy.
He's dead on. He's like the Rock's. He's like the new Marky Smith. He's just Rock's perennial cranky guy. Does not give a fuck. You know how much he doesn't give a fuck? Last time I saw him face to face was at Hustler's 20th anniversary party, and the guy was mocking me to my face.
Like, what was he mocking you for?
He was like, I said, oh, hey, man, how are you? I haven't seen you since that show we played together at Brave New World. He goes, Eugene from Whipping Boy. I go, yeah, no. It was Oxbow who played. He goes, Whipping Boy. I go, yeah, we haven't played any show. Whipping Boy. I was like, okay, I got you.
Just being a dick, huh?
No, it was great. I mean, it's not like he, if the slapping started, it's not like he would have any chance at all. Did not stop him. I love him. I loved him for that, But for whatever reason, I mean, it was completely contrary. I don't know why. He's had it out for me. I mean, I'm friends with Crover and, Joe Preston, their occasional bass player, but,
Oh, well, not everybody's cool enough for Buzz of the Melvins. What can you say?
No. If I were to see him, we'd laugh about it. Or I would laugh. I'm not. I mean, the thing with Dwayne Dennison was separate. I was choosing to be a sorehead then. It wasn't like I was naturally a sorehead, you know.
I see. Well, just let us know when you're going to be choosing to be a sorehead next. So. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could say that that's what I'm doing with the UFC, but it's not. It's put me in a bad, you know. It's I mean,
sad. I can tell you're hurt. Your feelings are hurt. See, they broke my heart many moons ago, so I haven't, you know.
Well, now I'm understanding Eddie Goldman a little bit better. I mean, Eddie Goldman, his tolerance level was set sort of low, but it's like, come on, man, come on. You know, and have you forgotten who your constituency is? You know, guys are putting together pennies, man, to come up with the money for the pay-per-view.
Market research says UFC fans are actually above the median income levels.
I'm above the median income level, and I bounced checks twice in July.
Hey, you know, my wife and I are always bitching about being in the top 10%, and it doesn't buy you shit. It does not give you the middle-class living that we feel we're entitled to, which I think might be the issue. But anyway, we're just huffing on fumes here. So give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Subscribe to MMANation.com on YouTube. Subscribe to MMA Nation on iTunes.
Thumbs up! Eugene Robinson style.
Follow us on Twitter at KidNate, at Eugene S. Robinson. You can read Eugene at Aussie.com, sometimes on Vice's Fightland. And his book, Fight, has a subtitle I can't remember. And I believe that's all my plugs. BloodyElbow.com, of course, is the site.
Or you could, if you're into novels, it's A Long, Slow Screw. And if you're into plays, The Inimitable Sounds of Love.
I thought
3 and 4 acts.
I thought A Long, Slow Screw was the play.
No, A Long, Slow Screw is a novel.
Ah.
The Inimitable Sounds of Love, a 3 and 4 acts, is the play.
I see. All right. Well, I never read plays. I never read novels anymore. But you know,
it's your funeral.
Someday. All right. Adios, MMA aficionados. Thanks, Eugene. We'll see you next time. We'll have the MMA Vivisection for UFC 190 tomorrow. We'll have the 6th round on Saturday. Eugene will be back to knuckle up on Monday. Adios.
All right, man.